What is going on, faithful? It is incredibly great to be with you today on the cusp of the 49ers' biggest game of the year versus the Rams. It's number one on the schedule, and it's not even close. If the 49ers win this game, you can almost guarantee they will get a share of the NFC, title race. I guess I want to say it hasn't been great. The NFC West is down this year, which is huge, but this game is everything. You've already beat the Rams once this year. You'd sweep them for the fourth consecutive regular season. Now, what we're going to do today, we're going to bring the top 5 most important 49ers for this Rams game and what that looks like. So we got some honorable mentions. Want to say shout out to Casey Lima for putting this together, executive producer on today's show. And let's get started. Number 5, baby. Kevin Givens, the defensive tackle for the 49ers, hasn't been great. In fact, he's coming off 2 of his worst games as a pro. The 49ers developed this guy. They've brought him along. Back-to-back terrible games against the Falcons and the Chiefs and losses. However, his best games have been against the Rams. We've been screaming for the entire season. Kevin Givens is a matchup-dependent defensive tackle that will have good or bad games. Now, the problem is, because of the injuries to Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, and Maurice Hurst before the season, that's thrust him into the starting lineup. Not where he should be. Not where he should be, but that's where he is. The NFL, it gets real, and sometimes you got to overcome things. So if you look at what he's done against the Rams, if you go back to just this year, 2022, in week 4, 1 batted pass, 2 pressures, 2 tackles, 1 solo stop, and a 74.7 grade. Last year, week 18, he had an 80 PFF grade. Last year in the NFC Championship, a 67.1 grade, not his best, but 2 solo stops and a pressure and limited snaps. So he's one of those guys. He's going up against Brian Allen. The Rams just got their backup center back, let's be real. But this is going to be a matchup that I'm really, really excited about, and I'm excited to see Kevin Givens kind of redeem himself. The Rams can't really run up the middle very well. So that's one of the things that I want to see and how that's going to develop.
Number 4.
Probably the biggest positive surprise so far of the 2022 49ers season, none other than Talanoa Hufanga. I mean, the dude has just been incredible. And maybe it's just me, but you go back to his pick 6, icing the game against Stafford and the Rams early in the year. It's still there. It's burned into my brain. So if you look at what Hufanga's done so far this year, he's got 3 interceptions on the year. The 49ers had 9 total interceptions all of last year. Now he's got 3 total on this year. Now, if we look at Stafford and kind of all the things that he's brought about, Stafford's been terrible. -2 in the touchdown to turnover ratios. He literally twice as many turnovers as he has attributed touchdowns to his team. Is that going to continue? We'll see here. We'll see. Look for Huff to continue to roam all over the center of the field, get in the box, blitz on, whenever he feels the need to. He's going to be active. Can he come up with another turnover, another huge splash play, another sack, another tackle for loss, something along those lines that can end one of these Rams drives whenever it's getting to the point where things are starting to look serious and the Rams might be in this? It's going to be up to Hufanga, who's going to play a huge role in this game. Can he get another turnover?
Number 3.
Oh, the quarterback position. Mr. Chinline himself, Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's be blunt. Last week's debacle against the Chiefs, I don't think the responsibility falls solely on Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think it does. But you can't have 2 turnovers and a safety and consider that a good game. Did he have good moments? Yes, Jimmy always does. Did he have bad moments? Terrible moments. But I don't put the loss squarely on his shoulders. I don't mind if you do. But him trying to escape the pocket and his pocket awareness and internal clock is awful. Constant refusing to throw the ball away puts the ball in jeopardy way too often. So the 49ers running game needs to be clicking for Jimmy Garoppolo to be what Jimmy can be. And I think that the addition of Christian McCaffrey helps him considerably. I really, really do. And so one of the things I want to see from Jimmy, don't cost your team the game. You just got to be a game manager. That's it. Even if Debo doesn't play, which I think he will, you just got to manage the game. Don't put the ball in jeopardy. Don't be scared of deep shots. Now, there's a difference between a deep shot that goes wrong and throwing a 5-yard Hail Mary at the 5-yard line for an interception and take points off the board. Big difference. So pick your points to kind of put the ball up for grabs in those 50-50 balls. Be smart about it. If Jimmy could just stay out of the way, he's going to have a turnover. There's no doubt about it. But 2 turnovers and a safety can't get it done. And so have to see him go out there and just be smart with the ball. Also, Shanahan, help him out. You only ran 3 screens last week. 3. That's not going to do it against the Rams. I want to see way more screens. All right, now we got the 2 biggest players in this game upcoming against the Rams.
Number 2.
I have been screaming from the mountaintops that the Christian McCaffrey trade, which I think is huge and very happy to have him, exciting to have him, it benefited this player more than anybody else. And that's George Kittle. And in 2 games, listen to these stats. Crazy theory. Last 2 games. George Kittle has 14 catches, 183 yards, and a touchdown. Those same 2 games, the tight ends the 49ers win against, Kyle Pitts, who's deemed the new number 1 tight end in the NFL, and Kelsey, they have combined in those same 2 games, 9 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown. So Kittle has back-to-back games outperformed both of these tight ends. Now, clearly to me at least, I do wish it was national tight end all the time, because national tight ends day all the time, because he just seems to perform well. And Kittle was number 2 on our list last week as well. And rightfully so. He played such a huge part. But with the wide receiver position taking a hit, with Debo Jennings kind of struggling a little bit with health concerns throughout the week, look for Kittle to continue. Remember, he broke the record for most receiving yards in a single season against the Rams. And I think that he's going to continue to perform well. Bobby Wagner, he's going to have his hands full. Wagner's incredible, one of the best linebackers to ever play the game. But in coverage against CMC and in coverage against George Kittle, I do not like that at all for the Rams. So expect CMC, expect Kittle to put up a lot of meat and production through the air. Now, some honorable mention candidates that I want to get to that didn't make our top 5. And again, shout out to Casey Lima for putting this together. Did a hell of a job. Jason Verrett, I do not expect him to suit up this week. He did get activated and he has been practicing, but part of me just says, you know what? They're going to shelve him one more week, and they're just going to wait for him after the bye week to bring him in. But if he is active, I do expect to see him out there on the field, which would be interesting. Jimmy Ward, they moved him from safety to nickel coming off the injury. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. He's going to be one of the guys predominantly guarding Cooper Kupp, which I love Jimmy Ward, and I think he's a great football player. However, one of my biggest issues with the Shanahan regime, and this is more of a D'Amico call, and Robert Saleh did the same thing, playing players out of position. I get that Tayshaun Gibson has been good. You should be putting in Jimmy Ward for Tayshaun Gibson. That's just what I'm saying. I want a younger, faster guy like Samuel Womack in the slot against Kupp. And I just don't like this. But whether we like it or not, Jimmy Ward's going to be a huge impact player this week. Hopefully it's for the 49ers. Mike McGlinchey, honorable mention. Golly, back-to-back terrible games. But he's been good in the first half. The problem with McGlinchey, he falls apart in the second half. Can he step up and not be a hindrance and just completely shut down the Niners offense single-handedly for the 3rd straight week? Duct tape Dwelly. Kyle Juszczyk broke his hand. He had surgery. He's going to be out this week. Duct tape Dwelly stepping in at fullback. I think he's going to play a huge role. Excited. He's done well in the past at the fullback position. So curious to see how he's going to do. Drake Jackson continues to push for starter snaps. Had a new career high, got 30+ snaps last week, looked great. Back-to-back games against the Falcons and Chiefs. Niners defenses looked awful, not Drake Jackson. You guys know what it is. It is winning season at MyBookie. As always, if you want to enjoy the football games, 49ers, or just NFL, or really any sport in general, you can bet on anything over there. MyBookie.ag. We've been with them for years. Very trusted site. Get your money in, get your money out easily. And on top of that, all season,
double deposit bonus. Whenever you first deposit your money, let's say you deposit $250, you get $500 credited to your account if you just use our promo code 49ERS or scan this QR code right to the side of me if you're watching this on YouTube. And again, it just sets you up completely. My bookie is incredible. Bet with us. We're on Patreon. We share our bets every single week, all season long. So join us, mybookie.ag, promo code 49ers. Bet anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Number 1.
You guessed it. Christian McCaffrey, the newly acquired CMC. The 49ers paid for him. They paid a lot for him. Now, if Ram Killer Debo can't go, or if he's limited, it's going to be all on CMC. And so you got Ayuk out there for sure, but CMC is going to have to perform. And here's what's crazy. The Rams were on a bye last week. Their previous game, the last game they played, was against Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers. How did McCaffrey do against the Rams? 20 touches, 158 yards. He forced 5 missed tackles, 2 10-plus yard runs, 6 first downs. All McCaffrey. Can he have that type of production again? Kyle Shanahan has said repeatedly that he's got the full playbook this week. It's only been 1 week. It's really been 9 days. So I'm not quite sure he has the full playbook, but it's going to be the CMC show out there. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do. And, whether it's, short screens, draws, handoffs, I want to see him in the outside zone. I want to see him on those option Texas routes if Jimmy can see it. I'm excited. Very, very excited about this. So this is going to be a fun game. And I hope that you enjoyed today's kind of quick show. We're trying to do some new things over on YouTube. If you're watching this with different camera angles and stuff, let us know what you think. Always open to criticism. Always want to know what you guys like. But appreciate you guys. And man, so close. This game's so big. Really hope the 49ers come out on top and handle business. Until next time, stay strong, faithful.